about paper, but it's terrible. Please raise your hand if you do not follow as intensely as most people one or more of the following: March Madness, the World Series, or the Super Bowl. Now, keep your hands up, please, and raise your hand if you think that there is way too much advertising. That's how I feel almost every day, because I am an asexual living in a world obsessed with sex. This speech is going to cover what is asexuality, how movies and books make us feel like we're not actually a part of society, and how other people make us feel that way. My credibility is that I am asexual. So what is asexuality? I'm not talking about how bacteria reproduce. I'm talking about asexuality as in a sexuality spectrum. Asexuality is defined by Anthony Bogart in the Journal of Sex Research, which is a journal aimed to give information about the latest of sexuality and sex information. In his article, Asexuality, What is it and Why it Matters? He says asexuality is a lack of sexual attraction or lack of interest in others, a lack of lustful inclination and feeling towards others. This means that asexuals don't feel like having sex. That doesn't mean we don't have romantic feelings towards people. Some of us certainly do. And there is a spectrum of asexuality. According to U.S. News Health, which is a website dedicated to telling U.S. people about health issues, about 1% of the population identifies as asexual, which is about almost as much as identify as gay as lesbian, which is 1.6%, and more than the amount of people that identify as bi, which was 0.7%. And this was found in a 2003 survey by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The asexuality spectrum is not as wide or defined as most other sexuality spectrums. Sexual means you do have sexual feelings or desires. We go to gray asexual, which is someone who identifies somewhere between the two, who does have sexual feelings, but not as much as other people. Demisexual is somebody who only feels sexual attraction towards people they know really well. And we have asexual, somebody who experiences no sexual attraction. This is not to say we're sex repulsed, it just means we don't like or feel like having sex. Now, how has pop culture made us feel like we don't belong? In movies and books, asexuality is never shown. It's always the guy gets the girl, as shown in Romeo and Juliet, way back in 1591. This shows that even way in the past, it was always the guy gets the girl. Now that trope has evolved into the good guy gets the girl, such as in Iron Man or Mission Impossible. These are very popular movies that show that the person who is the protagonist always gets their love interest, which has now evolved into the good person gets their love interest, such as in Love, Simon. Now, this shows us that we're wrong, because we don't feel the same way as other people that's shown in all these movies or all these TV shows do. Now, that's not the only thing that makes us feel like we're wrong. Other people in society tell us that, oh, you'll find the right person, or how do you know that you're asexual if you've never had sex before? You just haven't found the right person. Some people even go as far as saying, oh, well, you've never had sex with me before. It's not that I've had a bad sexual experience. I've never had any sexual experience. I just don't want sex. It's not a thing for me. Other people say asexuality isn't an actual thing. We're just late bloomers. let me tell you, asexuality is a real thing. We're not looking for attention, and we're not just saying we don't want sex just because we're scared of it. We actually don't. Now, I'm not saying that all of the progress made by the LGBTQ community in the past years, I'm not belittling that. I'm not saying it's not worth anything. I'm just asking that you please see that asexuality is a thing, and that not to try and belittle us in any way. So I went over what asexuality is, how movies and books don't show us that we can actually exist, and how other people belittle us. Thank you.